Hi guys, today I'm doing the Unpopular Book Adaptations Opinions tag. That's the hardest book tag title ever. I was tagged to do this by Vanessa from Paper Fairy, so I'm gonna leave the link to her video and the original one down below. And I thought this was a really interesting tag. I have to say, when coming up with these answers, I was actually surprised how I could not think of adaptations. Like, I almost felt for a second like I had never really seen any book adaptations except for maybe like Harry Potter and The Hunger Games. But I'm gonna try my best, so let's get going. So first we have an adaptation that you love but everyone else hates. I have three choices for this one. I kind of really wanted to mention all of them. The first one is one that is maybe not hated by everyone, but I still think there's some really serious haters out there, so I wanted to mention it, and that is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. I think Vanessa mentioned this one as well. I absolutely love this movie. I know there's many people out there who don't like this as much because it's not as accurate as some other adaptations. I love the kind of almost cheesy aesthetics of this film. I love the soundtrack, and I almost think everyone was cast perfectly. I cannot think of anyone that I don't like. The other one I want to mention is the City of Bones movie. I think this is another one that Vanessa mentioned. I honestly, kind of thought it was cheesy and a little bit weird, but overall I really enjoyed it. Yeah, there's things that are weird. Oh my god, the kissing scene where they play that Demi Lovato song, that was horrible. That was probably my least favorite scene, or maybe the scene where Jamie puts his hand through the portal and there's weird scenes in this, I know. But overall, I liked the way it looked. I liked the whole cast. There's a few people that I like more in the TV show, and overall I think they have done a pretty good casting with the TV show, but especially Jason Clary, I do not think they were well casted at all for the TV show. And for the movie, on the other hand, when Lily Collins was casted, I was like, she looks great, and I thought she did a really good job in the movie as well, whereas I feel like Kat whatever her name is, does not do it well at all. And then Jamie Bauer is like my Jamie. I thought he was the perfect cast, like 300%. Not only does he look the part, I think he portrayed him really well. And he kind of really played the part well of being really cold and almost bitter, but also being able to be different. I don't know. I just really thought that when Jamie Bauer was casted, I was like, fuck. This is Jace. I think he might just be my favorite movie cast of anyone ever. My third choice I have is actually the Twilight movies, and I guess that overall they are not really hated by people that love the books. I think many people that like the books kind of like the movies as well. I honestly really love the movies. I thought they were well done. Also cheesy, but kind of, I think that they were a really good adaptation of the books, but also great movies themselves. I like the cast, although I was so angry when Robert Pattinson got casted as Edward Cullen because I thought he was so ugly. Next question. A popular adaptation everyone loved but you hated. For this one, I have decided to go with the first Hunger Games movie because I do not think this one was well done at all. I watched the movie before I've read the books, and I was like, wow, where does the hype for this shit come from? This is not good at all. Especially compared to Catching Fire, to also both Mockingjay movies. For me, I think it cannot at all stand next to these, especially character-wise. I think that was my biggest problem, but I'll get into that a bit later as well. Also, incredibly unpopular opinion, I know, but I did not like the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. I loved Part 1, but Part 2, for being the last movie in such a big franchise, was probably the most disappointing movie I have ever seen. I did love how they did The Prince's Tale. I thought that was really well done, and there's definitely parts of it that I enjoy, but overall I was very disappointed with this one. The third question is an adaptation that you wish had more movies, seasons, whatever. The only thing I could personally come up with was Inkheart. I do see that there's many flaws in the first movie, and it's not a perfect movie, but the books are great. I think they do very well as movies. I just feel really sad that these have never been continued. The fourth question is the worst or least favorite adaptation. Standard answer, Aragon. So sad that they fucked that up as bad. I wish they could have done it well. I wish it could have been successful so that they could have continued that. The fifth question is adaptation that had the aesthetics but nothing else. Okay, this one is very hard. I could not think of anything that I have read, but I did think of Anna Karenina. I have not read the book. I do not feel at all interested in reading the book. I kind of really like the movie, but mostly because of its aesthetics. I don't think the story was told in a good way. I don't think it was understandable. And I like when movies make the book more understandable. Oh, I just thought of another one. The Great Gatsby. I really kind of like the idea of putting the modern music in it, for example. I just overall kind of like the style. I feel like both The Great Gatsby, which The Great Gatsby, I have actually read the book, so maybe that's a more valid answer than Anna Karenina. But I feel like, you know, this is just something where they had some part done right and they did one thing really, really well. So it's kind of sad that the rest didn't work out as well. The sixth question is an OTP or relationship that the writers got wrong in an adaptation. For this one, I'm going with my very obvious choice, which is Gale and Katniss in the Hunger Games trilogy. What were they thinking? Did this really add to anything? I really do not get why they had to add like several kisses in there. As if, you know, the kind of things that were happening in the book were not already present enough of showing that she's kind of struggling with who to choose. I just wish they wouldn't have added more things than there are. I don't think it would have been necessary to add more kisses just to make clear that Katniss is not sure. I think it would have been great to kind of talk more about the relationship that Gale and Katniss had pre-games, because that's kind of where her feelings for Gale come from, building up the relationship for several years. And so I just thought that was so unnecessary and so annoying. The seventh question is a poor character portrayal in adaptation that you liked. I also found this really hard. I decided to go for a character portrayal where I didn't really love the movie, but I love the overall franchise, and I'm still kind of happy that this movie exists, and that is the Hunger Games. I don't think Peter was well portrayed in the first movie at all. I was really upset about Josh I can never pronounce his name. Josh Hutcherson for a really long time, because I thought that he was not portraying Peter well at all. And that was especially clear to me because I've watched the movie first and was like, this is weird, who's this guy? I don't like him, I don't know what his point is. Whereas in the book, it is so clear that he really truly loves Katniss, or just, you know, likes her quite a lot. I mean, I think the first movie got their relationship wrong, but I think especially Peter was what they did really bad. From seeing the other movies, I know that actually Josh was a really good choice for Peter. And finally, a book or a series that you don't want anyone to touch. One thing I really truly do not ever want anyone to touch is the Grace Lingbrium trilogy. I do not think they would work well as a TV show, as a movie, as anything. I don't think that there is any way this could go well. I just think that the storyline is not made for being a movie. I think they would add so many unnecessary things. I have my kind of image for Katza, for Fire, for Bitter Blue. I do not need people cast. I really rather not have a Catching Fire like adaptation of Graceling than have to fear it being an Aragon kind of adaptation. So I'd rather not have it at all. This was my unpopular book adaptation wish list opinions. It was a lot of fun to do. As I said, I definitely struggled with coming up with these answers, but it was a lot of fun to talk about these, as you can tell by the length of this video. And I'm going to tag Indy from Tabs Life and Books because I feel like she would have some really cool answers for this, so I definitely want to see it. And definitely let me know some of your unpopular book adaptations opinions in the comments. Tell me if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I have said. And thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon.